Hey guys, how's it going? TGIF, happy Friday. We got another news roundup. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's go ahead and begin with a story in regards to the PlayStation. Happy birthday to the Sony PlayStation. It is the official anniversary of the console that came out 27 years ago. So happy birthday to the classic PlayStation 1. Now, I personally didn't have a PlayStation until many years down the road. I was strictly a one console a generation person growing up because my parents wouldn't let me have both a PS1 and a Nintendo 64. So I had to pick and choose, and I always went the Nintendo route. But I had friends that had all the PlayStation consoles and the Xbox consoles and stuff, and for the longest time I didn't even get a PlayStation console until I got a PS4 in 2016, which is why my nickname became 8-Bit Eric, because my friends were always like, oh, you always have, you know, old, outdated, bad consoles. Why don't you go ahead and get yourself a modern console so you can actually play games with us? And I just never did. So December 3rd, 1994, the first PlayStation was released in Japan, and the rest is all history. So I was looking at this article from Brian Ashcraft on Kotaku, and it talks about how, you know, Sony originally joined forces with Nintendo for a console. The partnership was a failure. Sony moved forward to make its own CD-based game console, and to stick it to the Nintendo, basically. And if you follow the channel, I made a video not long ago actually playing the Super Nintendo PlayStation, showing, you know, myself actually holding the controller and looking at the console itself. It was a very cool experience. So this goes on to say, at launch, the console was a smash hit in Japan. There was long lines at launch and buzz among Japanese players. Sony marketed its game machines as high-end electronics, aiming at older gamers who perhaps grew up with the Nintendo Famicom. So they wanted that older crowd. Nintendo was the kiddie system, what they were trying to push up on here. So it had 32-bit graphics. It lured the Final Fantasy series away. Mega Man eventually. There was Cynthia the Knight, Resident Evil series, you name it. So by 2005, Sony had shipped over 100 million PS1s, making it the first console to reach that milestone. So PlayStation wasn't only the console's name, but a brand, and the rest is history from there. So I think that's actually really cool. So happy birthday to the PlayStation 1. 24 years ago? What was it? 27 years ago? 27 years ago. So a couple more years, we'll have the 30th anniversary. Who knows what kind of controllers and merch and stuff we're going to be getting. Now, continuing forward, this is news regarding EA. So Battlefield 2042 came out 2 weeks ago to very harsh criticism. Like, I've read that this game was a failure. It was complete garbage. I personally haven't even tried it out yet. I've wanted to get it on Black Friday, but I'm holding out because I think it's going to sell or go on sale really soon. So we had, as a result of the poor launch, EA shakes up the Battlefield franchise as DICE head leaves studio. Now, DICE had always, in my opinion, seemed to have like a mixed reaction from gamers. I think there was more people that enjoyed DICE way before they started doing their, their loot boxes and different things with EA. But, you know, it's always a interesting development when you see studios being shaken up. So it says Respawn co-founder Vince Zampella takes over franchise, plans connected Battlefield universe. So we're gonna get some changes done to DICE. Now, Electronic Arts is shaking up the Battlefield franchise just weeks after the troubled launch of Battlefield 2042. Vince Zampella, who's the co-founder of Apex Legends and Titanfall developer Respawn Entertainment, will oversee the Battlefield franchise going forward. And Marcus Leto, who's co-creator of Halo and head of new EA development studio, will helm efforts to bring world building and narrative into Battlefield, according to a new report from GameSpot. So the general manager of Battlefield developer DICE, Oscar Gabrielson, is also leaving after a near decade with the company, and he went on Twitter to say it was one of the hardest decisions of his life. So we're getting some longtime people that have been decades into DICE leaving. He goes on to say DICE has some of the best talent in the industry and the team is in great hands. I'll be here to support the transition over the next few months before I head out on my new adventure, but I can promise you there's a lot to look forward to on Battlefield. So we got people that were employed for quite some time actually leaving. And then also EA told GameSpot that they're looking to build a connected Battlefield universe. I have no idea how that's supposed to go. Maybe there's going to be a variety of different studios combined in here that include DICE. I think right here it says Battlefield Portal developer Ripple Effect, Marcus Leto's new unnamed Seattle-based studio, and Industrial Toys. They're working on a Battlefield mobile game, and that its Battlefield-focused studios will continue to evolve and grow Battlefield 2042 and explore new kinds of experiences and business models. In the immediate future, though, DICE, Ripple Effect, and Leto Studio will team up to expand upon and improve Battlefield 2042. So I'm interested to see what changes will be made in regards to this following all the backlash and stuff. So we don't know if maybe, some people basically got canned or mutually parted ways, but it's always interesting to see when a studio makes some changes like this. And speaking of studios making some decisions and choices, if you've been following the internet, Take-Two has kind of been a little sassy. I would say they're actually kind of making some statements that are really interesting in regards to the trademarks and stuff. And now apparently they're going after people, which you can see Take-Two targets It Takes Two in latest move of trademark disputes. So they basically came out and said they own the rights to the trademarks of the word Rockstar and Bully, and apparently Take-Two as well. So during the build to the launch of the trilogy, GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition, Take-Two issued a lot of DMCA takedowns. Most of the studio's targets were players who have tweaked or modded the game. So the modding community for the GTA Trilogy did face a lot of DMCA takedowns. For example, I believe one of them reverse engineered Vice City and GTA 3 and a few of them like that. They're getting into a huge legal battle with Take-Two, and they're preparing to go to court actually. Well, now that the trilogy's out in the wild and most of the projects in place before it launched have successfully been taken down, Take-Two appears to have shifted its gaze, and Ash R on Twitter basically pointed out that Take-Two recently filed a very large wave of trademark disputes. Among them are ownership claims of the words Rockstar, Bully, and Take-Two. This reminds me of the Fine Brothers trying to copyright the word React a few years back, if you remember that, if you've been following the channel. So, and they do claim that they should own the rights to the name It Takes Two, because they're claiming they own the rights to the word Take-Two. Take-Two. So It Takes Two is saying that it's infringing their copyright and that it's their property. So yeah, basically this game has no connection to Take-Two, no connection to Rockstar, GTA, Bully, nothing. So for whatever reason, Take-Two apparently seems to think that they own the words to it. So you can see Take-Two, this is a tweet, has gone on a rampage of trademark disputes. They claim they own the words Rockstar, Take-Two, Bully, and all variants. So remember that slippery slope. They're even trying to claim Hazelight's games It Takes Two is profiting off their brand. So the documents appear to imply that Hazelight's ownership of It Takes Two trademark was either abandoned or left to lapse earlier this year. It names the Game of the Year contenders developer as the defendant, while Take-Two is the potential opposer. Either Take-Two has picked up on the trademark being available, or it's actively trying to take it from Hazelight. So apparently, I guess they let the copyright. I don't know what's going on here. I need to look at these official documents. But this is definitely interesting to see with the Game Awards coming up and with it being a nominee for Game of the Year and Take-Two coming after it. I don't know, claiming ownership of words and actually, it's weird. That would be like me making a game, Pin the Tail on the Donkey, and Nintendo coming after me saying they own the word donkey because of Donkey Kong. If that makes sense. It's like, this goes on to say, what Take-Two is attempting to gain from this doing remains unclear. Trying to claim ownership of words related to your own games and studios is one thing. Doing the same to something you have absolutely no connection to just because its title includes words that also appear in your company's name is something else entirely. This is... I don't know. I think this is a bad look for Take-Two. And they don't need any more bad looks, especially after that definitive trilogy. Anyways, let's go on right here. I found this a very interesting development from Reddit. We're going to take a look at this. This is a potential leak of announcements for the Game Awards. Speaking of the Game Awards, which we're going to talk about that with the next 2 articles. We're going to do this 4chan, Reddit / whatever leak, and we're going to talk about it real quick. So, taking a look at this, appears to be a screenshot from 4chan talking about some of the announcements. So this is just a teaser of what's to come. You'll thank me in less than a month. So, very interesting right here. We can see Hogwarts Legacy, which I think that will be an honest possibility. Resident Evil 8 DLC, again. Project 007, which we have kind of keep hearing this as a rumor. A new Saints Row. Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Minecraft announcements, Bioshock, Horizon, Sly Cooper. That's one that a lot of people are really wanting some updates on. The new King of Fighters, Ghostwire Tokyo, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. I don't know. Aren't those like the mobile like remasters? Cyberpunk DLC, that's a possibility. I think that one. Last of Us Remastered, there's been a lot of rumors about that popping up, especially on Reddit, that they're looking essentially to hire new people for this remaster. Wolf Among Us 2, Bayonetta 3, I'm pretty sure Nintendo will hype that out there. Hellblade 2, I remember that got an update during E3. You know, Game Awards is a perfect time for it. Slime Rancher 2, Goodbye Volcano High, Callisto Protocol, Stray, Sifu, Instinction, Shredder's Revenge, where the hell is that game at? 2 Point Campus, Chasing Static, and Arcade Paradise. Now, I personally would like a Zelda update. I would like anything related to Zelda. And, you know, looking at this, it's a 4chan post, of course. And who knows how much of this is going to be accurate. Again, it seems pretty reasonable. There's nothing that seems a little too outlandish here. Nothing that I'm like, oh yeah, right. Like, you know, like obviously like a fake Mario reveal or a Metroid Prime reveal or something like that. There's going to be plenty of surprises and stuff, but I will say the Hogwarts, Resident Evil 8, something with Ghostwire Tokyo, the Cyberpunk, the Bayonetta, I think those seem the most realistic in my opinion. That would be heavy hitters, but I think we're going to see a lot of new stuff as well. So let me know your predictions or whether you think this leak is pretty legit. Now, let's talk about the nominees real quick for Game of the Year, because we did touch on that very briefly with the It Takes Two and Rockstar / Take-Two lawsuit. So here are our nominees for Game of the Year. We got Deathloop, which I think that's going to be the one that wins. In all honesty, I think Deathloop will win. It Takes Two is up there. They have had indie / lower studios, like lesser known studios, win in the past, so that's a possibility. Metroid Dread, Nintendo never wins anything like Game of the Year. They win like Best Family Game of the Year. Psychonauts 2, that's not a bad contender. Ratchet & Clank, also not a bad contender. Those two games right here, Ratchet and Psychonauts, definitely some of the best 3D platformers that have come out this year. And then Resident Evil Village, which I had a blast playing, but to me, I don't think that's a Game of the Year candidate. If I'm gonna venture to say what's gonna win Game of the Year, it's definitely gonna probably be Deathloop or It Takes Two. You know, they might go the route with an indie game or like a lower budget game like It Takes Two, then you know, letting like a Resident Evil or something like that win, and a Nintendo Metroid Dread ain't gonna win it. great game and everything, but it's not going to win it. Now, here is the main event. So just recently we've had a lot of next gen console drops come up because of Black Friday and the holidays, and Jake Randall covered this Target restock that happened. But now apparently Target, after having this console restock, is canceling a lot of people's orders. So this article from Gaming Intel says Target canceled loads of PS5 orders from December 2nd restock. So plenty of unlucky Target customers have had their December 2nd PS5 orders canceled. So I can imagine a situation like this, finally getting your hands on a Target restock and then getting an annoying email from Target could just be so detrimental to your morale, especially because these consoles over a year later are still hard to find. Apparently, it says it seemed like the PS5 restock at Target was a huge success as many customers finally got the new console. Although it may not have been as successful as it seemed, now many are finding out that they won't be receiving their PS5 at all because their order has been canceled. Yikes. Now, this goes on to talk about how people on Twitter are basically being very vocal about it. Some managed to purchase the console, but after the order was placed, they got an email saying the PS5 was no longer available. Delivery alternative pickup options were offered, but if not, the customers have to agree to cancel the order. So it did give alternative options, delivery options, stuff like that. But if none of it was available, like let's say there's no delivery or pickup options in your area, you had to cancel your order. These things are already hard enough to get as it is. If you order something, it should always be able to be sent to you. And I know that's easier said than done, but Target dropped the ball on this. So you can look right here. These are people responding to the orders. They're tagging Jake Randall. I didn't know Target wanted to start being like Walmart and cancel orders. Well, at least I could still count on Best Buy. And you can see they got the "we're sorry, an item isn't available" email. And this says others claim that a technical issue caused their orders to be canceled. This seems to be fairly common, and unfortunately there seems to be no way to get your order back. So hey Target, after spending 30 minutes to get an order in this morning for a PS5, almost instantaneously you cancel the order for a technical issue, and they got canceled. Some customers have had multiple PS5 orders canceled after many attempts of buying. You can see this. How are you guys gonna take my money but cancel my order 3 times? This is crazy and so close to Christmas, man. Y'all are evil. So people are just still having a lot of issues getting these PlayStation 5s. If you managed to get one from Target safely and it hasn't been canceled yet, congrats. Let me know in the comments down below if you got it canceled or you're still having trouble. I'm going to try to keep up with the restocks here really soon. It's been tough because they're very hard to keep track of now. Now, stuff is just happening randomly and stuff. So follow Cheap Ass Gamer, Wario64, Jake Randall, PS5 Restocks on Twitter, all those things. And good luck. Now, that's it for the video. Please subscribe if you haven't. I'm trying to reach 85,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Couldn't do it without you guys. I will see y'all on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.